wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Good morning to you and you and you. Welcome to today. Today is Monday, the 30th of June, 2025. I am Pearson Bowen and it is so good having you company. Because I've said it's the 30th of June, that means it's the end of June. 30 days have September. You know the rest of it, right? April, June, and November. So there we go. The last day of June is upon us, and so how has your month been? What have you done, and what will you do differently in July? Certainly options for you to share, we'll share with you this morning, but I want to welcome you to a brand new week, another opportunity for you to just share with us as we share with you. So for those of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website, cbc.bb, thank you for waking up. Thank you for sharing the show. Thank you for keeping company. As I always encourage you, talk between yourselves, talk to us too, so that we can also acknowledge you as the morning goes. Remember too, if you have an idea or if you know of someone whose story we have to tell, tell us about it. Tell us by sending us an email. Our email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And we are already saying thank you to all of you for being partners in what we do Monday to Friday from 6 in the morning. Now, we have an unanswered question, which I shall remind you of today. So get ready, get close to your phone to give me a call. Patricia Ben, good morning to you as well. She's saying good morning to the crew. We say the very same to you, Pat. Rhonda Hines Graham, Sweet Rons, good morning. She says good morning to the crew. She encourages all of us to keep up the good work. We encourage you to keep up the great work you're doing, Sweet Rons, as well. Curtis Hope, good morning. A blessed good morning to you as well. She says good morning to all of you everywhere. So get ready for that. Anthony Smith is watching us from the 718 and so to the 246. He says good morning from the 246 to the 718. Good morning back. Kieran Olivier, good morning to you, Kieran. Thank you so much for commenting on our page. Have yourself a lovely day. Remember, you can find us on Facebook and our YouTube website as well. Blessed good morning to you as well. Nydia Trim, good morning to you. Nydia, is that the way you call it? Or Nydia? I'm not so sure. That's your spelling, not mine, but this is my pronunciation. So Nydia, Nydia, same body. Miss Trim, good morning to you indeed. So question, 228-5562 or 228-5563. This remains unanswered by you. I'll give you another opportunity this morning to answer this question correctly. So the question is, I can be cracked, made, told, and played. So what am I? I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me right now and you let me know. We started this morning with some rain. It was lovely to hear the rain just pitter-patter on our galvanized roof. And so I'm sure for a lot of you who live in chattel houses with your roof made of galvanized, oh boy, that's the most beautiful sound. But we've had a rainy weekend. I hope you catch yourself safe and as dry as you possibly could. Remember always that because the grounds are so saturated, rainfall today, opens up the possibility of urgent flooding, so pay attention to what's happening with rising water around you. But call now, 228-5562. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? I am not moving till you give me a correct answer. Now, coming up today on the show on Morning Barbados today, summer holidays for the schools are upon us. Indeed, schools will be closing just a little while. The graduation season is on for those from class 4s or those who are leaving secondary school. And so one of those who has a wonderful opportunity for you and your children over the holiday weekend is called Eden Academy. But just what are they about and what are they introducing your child to? We will share with you this morning. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I. What do you think that is? Tell me now. Call me NOW 228-5562 or 228-5563. Also coming up today, we'll have a Bajan Afar who started her life here, migrated to North America. But what has she been up to? What has she been doing? And how does she stay connected with her heritage, her roots right here in Barbados? We'll talk to her in just a little while about that and that journey that she's made and what she's doing with herself while she's there as well. But call 228-5562 or 228-5563. None of you knows? Not a single one of you understands or can solve this particular question. I almost give the answer away. Right there for you. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Well, recent episodes of crime and violence against women in our society cause concern for the National Organization of Women. And so they'll join us this morning to take a look at it and how from where they sit, they have solutions. So we'll talk to them in just a little while about what are the stories coming to them and just what are some of the possible solutions. We have a call. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, how are you, sir?
A jukebox.
Let me watch this again. How are you today, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Oh,
And you?
wonderful. Oh, I'm well. Thank you for asking, and you're very welcome too. So, what's your first name and where are you watching from?
Hillaby St. Andrew.
From Hillaby St. Andrew, and your name is?
Terry Howell.
Terry. Mr. Howell, do you think you're right when you say to me your answer is a jukebox?
Yes, please.
Why do you think that is right?
That's just my feeling.
That's all right, but why do you feel that way?
Why do I think that way? Because of the question and the only thing that comes into mind that in comparison to everything that you listed.
Is jukebox?
Yes, please.
Well, I shall say to you, Mr. Howell, disabuse your mind of jukebox because you're wrong.
Okay.
All right?
No problem.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes.
Hillaby St. Andrew, the highest point on the island indeed. So thank you for calling. Thank you for watching from Hillaby as well. I'm waiting on your call, folks. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? So the National Organization of Women will join us as they take a look at violence against our women, our elderly, and our families in society as well. And Philippines won already? Because St. George is now finished. They're finishing today, but tomorrow, July the 1st, starts regathering in St. Philip. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Lisa.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. You're not sitting down. Why?
Because I'm not ready to catch up yet.
Because you're not ready to get up yet? When will you be ready to get up?
Probably in another hour or so.
An hour?
Yes, please?
You know that I will call you lazy, right?
No.
I will call you lazy. Morning has broken things to do. Don't you have things to do?
Yeah.
However,
However, they'll be done.
in your time, right?
Yes, please.
Got that right, girl. Pace yourself. Life is really too brief for us to be rushing through and then, you're tired. Why not? How was your weekend, by the way?
My weekend was good.
Really? You have me curious. What did you do on your weekend?
I went to the health fair in St. George.
You went to a health fair
Yeah,
in St. John?
George.
In St. George?
St. George Parish.
Oh, yes. Did you participate?
Yeah, the MS Society was there.
So what did you do? How was it?
It was good.
You
We
s-
had things started and that sort of thing.
Oh, so you were working.
You could say so.
Kind of working. All right, no problem. Did you buy anything to take home?
Well, it was raining so much.
So you
It
bought-
wasn't easy to get around.
Okay, so it was one of those miserable weekends, so to speak, right?
It was really miserable.
No problem. Do you still wear a raincoat?
No, I don't have one.
Pardon me? What did you say?
I don't have one.
Yeah, but would you wear a raincoat?
Why not? It will protect me from the rain.
You see you? All right. You think you're being smart with me. All right. So what is your answer?
A joke.
Wrong.
It's not a joke.
No.
You could crack a joke.
I
You
know.
can play a joke.
I know. I know all of that. But all of that you're saying to me now does not make you right.
Well, if I feel I'm right,
I am telling you that you're wrong.
okay.
Thank you, here.
You're welcome.
Likewise, indeed, and have a good day today, indeed. I can be cracked, made, played, and what did I miss? Told. What am I? That is my question to you. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So, St. George is finishing today. St. Philip is starting tomorrow. They have a whole slew of activities for me to share with you. So they'll join us this morning as we take a look ahead at what we will be engaging with in the parish of St. Philip this upcoming month of July, where they pay attention to sugar. We move from St. George with land into sugar. The focus is on sugar. The color is purple. 228-5562 or 63. Good morning. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Turn off your television volume.
Good morning.
And simply listen to your telephone. Good morning.
Hi, pleasant good morning to you.
Oh, thank you so much, and the very same to you. Are you listening to your television?
I just put it on mute.
Okay, fine. All right, so what's your name and where are you watching from?
My name is Juliet. I'm watching from St. Michael.
Juliet from St. Michael. Juliet from St. Michael sounds as though she is convinced that she has the answer for me. Am I right?
I think the answer is a joke.
You really think so?
Yes, I think it's a joke.
Why?
Because the description.
I can be cracked, made,
Yes.
told, and played, and you think it's a
Exactly.
joke. And you think it's
Yes.
a joke.
Yes.
Why not a guitar?
Ah,
Mm.
a joke just came to mind,
Why
and
not-
I want to believe that it's a joke.
Why not
I
a-
think you're playing a joke on them.
Why not a piano? Juliet? I can't hear you.
I'm sticking with the joke.
Don't stick with the joke, Juliet. You're wrong.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness, indeed.
I just played a joke on myself then.
Clearly you did. I like your humor. Thank you, Juliet. Have a great day indeed. So, Juliet is so wrong. All of you with the jokes, you are wrong. You are not right. Those answer, I know Miss Trim, but that is not the answer I want. Miss Trim. So keep calling 228-5562 or 228-5563. I still have, according to what I see in front of me, another 2 minutes with you. Another 2 minutes with you. So you call me and you let me know. I'm giving you 2 more minutes to see if you can get it right. And you know, this has been running on for days. So what I'll do in those 2 minutes, if you don't get it right, I'll probably give you an answer. But come, try. Let the little ones call as well, because sometimes they have a perspective that would surprise the living daylights out of you. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Could it be a riddle?
Don't answer yet. Don't answer yet. How do you do?
I'm fine, thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome. And what's your first name and where you're watching from?
Barbados. I'm watching from Barbados.
I'll be Barbados too, but you're not with me, so where are you? What parish?
St. Joseph.
Miss St. Joseph. What's your first name?
Pauline.
Pauline of St. Joseph. All right, Pauline of St. Joseph. Did you have a good weekend, Pauline?
Great.
Really? What did you do last weekend that made it so great?
A birthday celebration.
Was it yours?
Yes, it was.
Congratulations. Congratulations on your birthday. And so your birthday was at the weekend as well?
Yes, it was.
Which day, Saturday or Sunday?
It was on Saturday.
On Saturday. So you're a grown-up girl now?
Yes, I am.
All right, Pauline. No problem. Congratulations here.
Thank you.
Okay, give me your answer, Miss Pauline.
Could it be a riddle?
Explain to me why you say riddle. Pauline?
Yes, please.
Explain to me why you think your answer is riddle. Why is it?
Because a riddle can be cracked, it can be made, and told, and played.
A joke too? Can't a joke
Riddle.
too?
Yes.
Can't a piano be made, cracked, told, and played? Answer.
Yes. Yes.
Ma, you back it up. Listen, Pauline,
Yes, please.
you are right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She's so matter of fact, isn't she? Pauline, you're absolutely right. For me is a riddle. Well done, Pauline. Have a beautiful today, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Pauline is our star girl of the morning today. Well done, Pauline. All right, folks, we're taking a break here. We're coming back and I'll introduce you to what the Eden Academy has planned for all of us and all of you and your children for the summer holidays. Back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. to you.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
16 and a half minutes after 6 o'clock. During summer holidays when I was a little boy, we just went outside and played cricket. We just did all of those kinds of things. I was a master at lawn tennis. We would sometimes slide down the hill. We went picking sea grapes, dunks, all of those kinds of things we did. And then we were carted off to vacation Bible school. That's what we did during summer holidays in the old days. But now there's so many fancy things happening for the summer holiday to engage your children with that would stimulate not just their play, but the mind. Eden Academy has all of that wrapped up in one space for you over the summer holiday. And so joining me this morning is the director of Eden Academy, and it's not a school, Carlitos Price. Mr. Price, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Tell me about what Eden Academy does. Is this something you only do at summer holidays?
No, well, Eden Academy is primarily a tutoring service.
Okay.
We hope to become a school in the future, but right now we tutor in mathematics mostly, which is my strong point. And then recently we have included English and composition to prepare children for the Common Entrance exam.
Are you seeing results?
Yes, we are seeing results. We are seeing everybody improves. They improve at different rates, but everybody improves once they attend the lessons and they're consistent. There's always an improvement.
What's the strategy you use?
I consider myself a very down-to-earth person.
Me too.
So I'm able to relate. I'm also very patient. So sometimes one person will not understand in one way, so then I have to find another approach. And I do my best to find the approach that matches that particular person.
And some of these approaches oftentimes include technology.
Yes.
And so that's what, when we talk about Future Trek, which is the opportunity you're offering to students and children really for the summer holiday, that's what you're doing. You're engaging with the future, essentially technology, with the way we play.
Exactly.
And so talk to me a little bit about how Future Trek is going to play over from July 14th, I think you're starting.
Yes, from July 14th. What Future Trek is, it's not just a summer camp. It's a summer adventure. So what we want to do, we want to immerse students and campers in this narrative. And the narrative is that they are part of the Future Core. And the Future Core's responsibility is to preserve the future by solving the problems of the day.
Preserve the future while solving the problems of today.
Yes.
And so in preserving that future, we have to first paint the picture of the future so that we don't damage what we expect it to be or what we would want it to be.
Exactly.
And so you're working in the minds of the students as you go.
Yeah.
And so this is not as simple as taking up a crayon and drawing, right?
No, I wish it was.
So what are you going to be engaging with tangibly?
All right, so
summer camp?
we have a variety of activities. Some of the more popular ones are things like 3D printing. And I could show you an example of what happens when you do 3D printing.
So you could do a 3D, or you'll show me the result?
Yeah, I'm going to show you the result.
Oh, because I would have loved to see the process.
So what happens is we take like a filament. It's just like a long piece of material. We feed it into this machine, and it creates whatever we...
A full structure?
Exactly, yes.
Wow.
So
Isn't that fascinating?
It's very, very, very fascinating. These are just some of the examples that I started to print.
Can I hold this? This is a boat?
Yeah, that's a boat.
You did this through printing, by printing?
Yes, a 3D printer, yes.
For me, printing is just taking words, putting it on paper, and pushing it out.
Yeah, that's 2D printing.
That's
because it's
2D.
two-dimensional, but now we're talking about printing in 3 dimensions.
So you see the full thing.
Yes.
This is brilliant.
Correct, yeah.
And so these are some of the things that the children will be engaging with.
Yes, so what they have to do, they are part of the Future Core, and they have missions every week. And the missions involve problems that they have to solve. So they may have, for instance, one of the activities is robotics, a major part. It was so popular last year that we had to invest more time and effort and money into doing this robotics. So one of the missions, what's going to happen is that they're going to have a natural disaster, and it's going to be a simulated town, and the robot is going to have to make its way through the obstacles to find victims and rescue them and put them back.
This is so wonderful. This is not Roblox. This is not what we're talking about at all. This is no real tangible pieces. You brought along an example of what are some of the implements that we'll be engaging with, the children will be engaging with.
Yes.
And so could you explain to us what it is that you have set on the table for us?
So right now, this is one of the robots that we're going to be using. This is geared towards the younger children because we're going from 6 to 13. So we have two types. So this one is a little simpler than the others. It is capable of just, you code it. You could code it in multiple ways, or you could use a remote control.
Oh, okay. So we can put in the instructions,
yes,
or just let the remote control follow.
Or we could just use a remote control and control it based on what we could see.
Right.
But suppose we couldn't see what was going on, we would create a code, which is just a list of instructions that it would follow autonomously by itself.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And so this one that you're going to show us now is one where we have to actually activate it.
Yes.
All right.
So I've already written a code on the computer and downloaded it into the robot. So now we just see if it does what I told it to do.
Okay, let's see if it does what. So what is it that you want it to do?
It's supposed to bypass the two orange barrels. It's supposed to maneuver through it and then score a goal through the goalpost.
So those barrels represent the obstacles.
Yes.
The robot is to get beyond those obstacles, beat those obstacles, and get to the goalpost and score.
Yes.
And so those, while you have them set in the way you have it set, it could be set in any position, right? Or you have it set for ease of the robot?
For ease, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, you do you now. Let's see how this works. And so when the children come to Eden Academy this summer holiday, these are some of the things that they'll be engaging with. Robotics, so they get a sense this robot is now moving to just around the obstacles in quest of scoring a goal through those goal bars that are purple. And let's see if he can actually do it. And will he shoot the ball? Will he get it? Will he get it? Easy. Easy. Played like Roel Ford. Played just like Roel Ford. No challenge whatsoever, and so he got a goal. He feels as if he's a footballer.
He feels very happy. Yeah.
But that's the whole point. That's the whole point of looking at obstacles and finding ways around it.
Yes.
What are you teaching when you do that?
So what we are focusing on are we have these 21st century skills. There's critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. So underneath all the games and all the activities, those are the skills that we really want to embed into these young people.
Right. I'm seeing some mathematical signs on the goal bars, the goal posts as well.
Well, these are actually, so what happens is there is an AI sensor on the robot itself, and it's able to differentiate between a barrel, the ball, and the goal post. So these goal posts, each one is numbered, so it could differentiate between 2, 3, there's 1, 4, 5, and then it's able to make decisions based on what you have told it, based on what is in its way.
So the age ranges that you're hoping to have come and be a part of Future Trek at Eden Academy, who are you targeting here?
From 6 to 13, really.
6 to 13 years old, who have a broad understanding of robotics, who have a broad understanding of mathematics and the like, and so who are curious about solving problems. Is that the kind of child you're looking for?
Yes. But we really want to engage any person, because I believe any person will have fun. Just when they're having fun, they will learn something, right?
I think I would for sure. Big old man like me. And so, how is registration? How can we register?
Well, we could register by, you could go to my IG page, which is Eden Academy 246.
Eden Academy 246
and you would find more information, or you could call or WhatsApp 249-2504.
Okay, then so you can either call or send a WhatsApp message, and the information's on your screen. Look at your screen, folks. That's the information right there. And the location is Britain's Hill in St. Michael, running from the 14th of July to the 22nd of August. You can join the Future Core and explore robotics, storytelling, simulations, and games. All of this presented by Eden Academy indeed. And so get in there fast, registration, because you can only accommodate so many.
Yes, we can only accommodate 30 or so.
30 people
Yes,
for the duration, or people can come and go as they
Well,
want?
there will be some people who probably come and go. Some people have to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to, then you should call and register as soon as possible, and we'll try to make you space for you.
Do that fast.
Yes.
Do that really, really fast. So I can either spend the entire period from July 14th to 23rd
Yes.
at the camp, or I can choose to spend, I just can only afford a week because we only have a week. You
Yes.
can allow your child to just spend that week as
Sure.
well, and
Yes,
you get the
no
same value, they get the same impact.
Yes, they will. Yeah, they will enjoy part of the camp, no matter when they attend.
Right. Cheese on bread, the ball is gone. The ball has gone. It's gone behind the chair. So what we want to do is play a game again.
Yeah.
I would like to try it and beat you. But nonetheless, do you have another robot that can play against you?
I don't. Yeah. I want to show you something.
Okay. What are you going to show me now? What are you tell me? Talk it out. Let me hear.
What we were going to do is first I'm going to introduce you to button coding, which is very simple. So there are 4 commands that you can give to the robot.
Okay. There are 4 commands. There's
forward,
straight ahead.
yes, there's
turn left, turn right,
and then
or
kick.
who?
Kick.
Kick. Oh, that's
Yeah.
not one. Oh, yeah, the boot.
Yeah.
All right. So I can do that. Set up your robot, man. Let me beat you bad. So we're gonna play a 2 robot game here, and this is the whole point. The children, while having fun, are also learning how to navigate through obstacles, to navigate through life, to find solutions, and to determine the best way forward. And so that's the whole point of this. When you come to Eden Academy, you're engaging with all of this, exploring robotics, gaming, storytelling, and there's a remote control.
Yes,
In other
sir.
words, I am too junior to program this. No problem.
No, we're going to do both. You could do both.
And you know, the children today are so adept at remote controls. They play all their PS5s, their Nintendo games using the remote. And so that's the whole point. That's what you're going to be doing indeed.
All right,
So
this
let's
one-
go.
This
Let's
one
see.
give me some trouble, so you're going to have to handle it all on your own.
Or you do it.
All right.
Or all on the own, you do it before I match it up.
All right, so I could if I wanted to do the same thing that I did just now.
Yes.
And what's going to happen is we're going to have multiple situations, and
Okay.
the children are going to have to figure out what's the best way to do it. So for me, I am just going to go straight ahead. I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to go to the right again, and then go forward. And then I'm going to kick the ball through.
Okay. So let's make it do some other maneuvers now from the one we saw before.
How are we going to
This one is using the remote now. It's ready? Is it ready?
No, we're doing it without
All
the
right,
remote first.
we'll do it without the remote first. So you've just asked it to go straight ahead.
Correct. What you tell me what you think I should do next?
I don't know, but if it goes straight ahead, it has to avoid. It has to. No, it's going to go ahead. But you're not making this difficult for me. All the straight ahead, I'm still going to get right through.
All right, we're going to do something different.
Okay. Straight ahead, and I want it to go
So we want to get to the other side.
right. Straight ahead, go right. Go right,
What else?
and then left, and stay left. Let me see what it goes. Let me see.
Yeah, so we can test it.
Okay, let's go. I just gave instructions. Move, go, will you?
So you got see now what
I
happened?
give too many instructions?
No, you give too little.
Oh.
So let's try it again.
Or you make it do it.
So now we go. You went forward, then you turn right, and what we should do is go forward again. And we're going to go straight up.
Okay. I asked it to go forward.
So let's test it and see. And that's the beauty of it. The whole idea is that we get to try and try again.
So the number of instructions are 6.
6, yes.
Okay,
so
go.
I give it 6.
Go forward. Do as I said, to go right. Go forward again. Move it.
Oh,
Aha.
we see it colliding. So then we could go again and we could do it as many times. We
Right.
could start over, we could
All right.
add in and take away until we get exactly what we want.
So all of this we can do, we can engage with when we go to the Future Trek at Eden Academy. I want to encourage all of you parents to allow your child to engage with the technology. It's possible, it's available, exploring robotics, gaming and storytelling. While you do so, we're solving future problems by engaging with Eden Academy. Look at your screen, get the information. In Britain's Hill is where you're going, but you need to register right now. You can go to edenacademy246@gmail.com, send an email there with their interest, or you can call or WhatsApp 249-2504, 249-2504, and be a part of this exciting exploration at the summer holiday, which starts on the 14th of July, running until the 23rd of August. And so, these do we have to come with anything, or you provide all of these?
You just have to come with an enthusiastic and open mind,
Right.
and we provide everything else.
All right. There you go. Now you heard it. Come with an enthusiastic mind, and all else will be provided to you, and the results as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carlitos.
You're welcome.
Carlitos Price is the man who's behind Eden Academy, and they're helping you to solve problems, helping your children to find different ways of engaging their minds at the summer holiday. And so we want to encourage you to register today for Eden Academy's Future Trek. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
"27 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we engage once again, and you know we love to do this with Bajans afar. There are Bajans everywhere, and there are Bajans everywhere doing fantastic things as well. And so this morning I reintroduced you, so to speak, to a Bajan who is right here sitting with me, as a matter of fact, because she's in the island while completing a very, very important endeavor. And so her name is Lisa Gianetto. And so, Lisa, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Would people who are watching today say, I know her? Anyone?
I'm not, maybe.
Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah.
So where were you born in Barbados?
I was born in St. Michael.
And so soon after birth, or how soon after birth did you migrate to North America?
I was quite young when I migrated to North America.
In other words, against your will.
Yes, that would be true.
If you had choice, would you stay or would you? Are you happy with your transition?
Yes, but yeah, there's a big part of me that wonders what would it have been like to actually be raised here, to grow here, grow up here. Yes.
And so all you know from school right the way through is that North American experience.
In a way, I know quite a bit about Barbados. And this is one of the places that I call home. We have deep roots here, which I have learned through my grandmother, who is quite the historian about Barbados. We've been here since the family came here in the 1600s. And my grandmother has told a lot of stories about our heritage, about her grandmother, and about the history of Barbados.
Is Gianetto your maiden name?
Gianetto is my birth name.
Okay.
Yes. So my dad was born in Sicily, and he came to the States as a teenager. after he graduated high school, he joined the Navy and was based here when the base was still functional.
Right.
And that's how he met my mother.
Which makes your whole life so fascinating,
I'm a
doesn't it?
Bajan Sicilian.
There you go. And so, in trying to discover all of the different tangles, the bits and the roots that lead to who you are,
Yes.
how much of that journey have you taken so far?
How much of the journey?
To discovery.
Ask me that again.
Okay, we have the genealogy market
Yes.
fair that are on in Barbados, so people are tracing all of their roots.
Right.
And so because yours is Sicily, Barbados,
Yes.
North America, all over the place,
Yes.
sometimes you just want to be able to find out how far the tentacles reach. Have you done that?
Yeah, so again, our family was here from the 1600s. So it came to St. Andrew from Scotland on the
Okay, from
maternal
Scotland,
side.
yeah.
We have generations of family buried at St. Andrew Church. And I've in untangling it by way of visiting and listening to the stories here as well as in Sicily. My dad has taken us to his birthplace, visited there many times. I've been here many times. I've attended school. I've lived here many times as well. So there's I do have that piece of knowledge just by way of experience and having lived here and experienced the island through the eyes of my grandmother, and also coming here at many times as an adult, connecting with locals and learning through them.
Your mother's last name would have been Gianetto, your parents. But your grandmother's last name, was it the same?
Right. So originally, my grandmother, her surname is Ross. She married a Brooker.
Here we go. Yes.
So my mother's maiden name is Brooker.
Is Brooker.
Yes.
All right. So Ross, Brooker,
Yes.
Gianetto, and on. And so you see, with all the changing names, with the
Yes.
changing times, there's a story also to be told.
Yes.
And I really hope that while you're here, because you're visiting for just a moment,
Yes.
and so I hope while you're here, you can go down to the archives in
Yes.
Barbados and begin that search if you
Yes.
haven't already done so. Just enough information, and they can trace a lot for you and share the information with you.
Okay.
So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to find out.
Yes.
And so you've connected yourself with Barbados by returning often enough.
Often enough.
And
Well, no, not often enough.
Often enough.
I don't know if it
not
was
to
often
forget.
enough. Yeah.
Not to forget. And
That's
so,
right.
from afar, where you sit, you live in the United States, right?
I do.
From where you sit, when you reflect on Barbados, how does that make you feel?
Oh, gosh. A mixture. There's nostalgia. There is a bit of grief because I'm torn between many areas, and I live in the desert, so it is the polar opposite of here. And there's that acculturation. So having been, my kids are the first American-born, and being so close to both cultures, there is that tension of the two cultures. Also feeling it and living it, but also seeing it slipping away. So that is the grief part of it.
Right.
And so I try to keep the kids. I have 3 kids and a grandson. I try to keep them connected to their roots as much as possible.
What do they say to you when you first introduce them to the concept of Barbados?
Yes.
And they're thinking, Mom, where is that? What are you talking about?
I don't know, because they grew up hearing me talk about it.
Yes.
So I'm not sure that a question ever came up. They've been here to the island many times. As a matter of fact, they just left. And so it's already in their, it's already in their nature, already in their blood.
And what do they say to you about that experience in Barbados?
This, they have, there's a lot of positive, there's a very positive connection to Barbados. I've connected them to the stories that my grandmother would tell. She was quite the family historian.
Yes.
My uncle John Brooker, who lives in Canada, is as well as the history of Barbados. And I take those stories to them as much as possible. Bring the music to them and the food. My youngest is I can't make the food, but but my youngest is quite the chef, and he's been able to perfect things like cuckoo and fish gravy. But this last visit, I was really hearing a lot about. They were really noticing. So they were quite a bit younger when they came here. 13 years ago and 18 years ago, but they really noticed this time, this culture, and wow, people here really look out for each other. Really, that happens? And motorists do that, in the U.S. So I heard a lot of the comparison contrast between this country and the U.S. And I really feel like they got a sense of the people, the heart of the people here, and how the heart of the people here is really. It really shows in everything that they do.
Does that showing in everything we do really make you want to come home? Just
of course.
Resettle it up. So how much in your plan, we have vision boards. Do you have a vision board of one day I'm resettling in Barbados?
Probably, well, my heart is also where my kids are. So yes, my heart is, again, in different places. I do feel that dream. How do I fulfill that dream of being places where my heart is? So it's like, well, maybe I can live in Barbados part of the time, and then my kids can come visit and be near them part of the time. So yes, I do have that. I have had that vision for a long time.
You live in the desert. Is that Arizona?
Yes.
We're talking heat.
Yes.
But it's a different heat from the heat we have in Barbados. How different for you is that?
Very different.
Which one is hotter?
Arizona.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Because we complain of our heat.
Arizona.
But Arizona is, oh my goodness. So how do you, knowing the tropical breezes that we have, understand that you can step outside, there's the beach. How do you live the concept of living in a desert?
That's what I'd like to know.
How does one do this?
Again, this has all been against my will.
There you go. Habi, that's your fault. But nonetheless, that's all right. You followed your heart and there you are.
Yes.
Now, understanding, you said you look at us as Barbadians, you look back, sometimes you come visit, but while they're in Arizona, do you pay attention to the news? Do you pay attention to current affairs? What's happening in Barbados? Do you?
I have in more recent years. I've listened, I've paid more attention. I'm on a couple of the Facebook pages and read the news periodically.
What's your view?
Yeah. I am seeing changes. I recall times where, certain crimes, petty crimes, where that's the most that needed to be worried about. So when I'm reading about the gun violence now, it is disheartening. And I hope that there will be a solution. And I also, as a psychotherapist, I always wonder, where it comes from. I don't think that somebody just all of a sudden becomes violent for no reason at all. There's usually something that's underlying.
So you've set yourself up as a psychotherapist. That's where I'm heading to. I'm just so glad you mentioned, because that's exactly where I wanted to go next, right after this break. We're back in just a moment as we continue meeting up with the Bajan of Fur, Lisa Gianetto, in a moment.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email.
60 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we continue our conversation, as we continue with this Bajan Afar, Lisa Gianetto. She is a licensed professional counselor. And so often, Lisa, we define ourselves by the thing we do. Who do you define yourself as?
Well, I define myself as through my values of being of service, connection to others, bringing people together, doing things that support the good for the higher good, to support the higher good.
And so you've taken up the role in counseling.
Yes.
That, which again aligns with all that you've talked about,
Yes.
helping others and aligning yourself with the higher good of people.
Right.
How did that come about? How did you suddenly become the counselor? You have so many other professional options. How did that come about?
I always knew that I wanted to be of service, and in thinking about certain professions, nursing was something that I wanted to do, and I decided to settle on psychotherapy because I couldn't take the blood. So I thought that was my next best bet, to be able to make as much of an impact as I can to help support people in their mental health and to help them to function at their personal best in their everyday life.
But there has to be a curtain that one pulls down that says, I'm separating myself from your trials that I'm trying to help you with. I can't have them invade my space.
That's right.
So
yes.
how do you draw that line of demarcation that says, this is my area, I'm not crossing that line?
That is something learned early on in the process, to have a kind of a compassionate distance, to let go of the outcome. So being able to be present with the client and their experience, and be able to hold the space for very big emotions sometimes. So I have to be here, and it's important for me to stay regulated and hold that presence for someone so that they feel safe in order to do that. And it is with that compassionate distance. I'm there, I'm empathic, I feel compassion, but I'm also right here.
Yes.
And regulated and present.
There are moments, however, sometimes when it just gets a little too far, and you have to take it home.
Yes.
How does a household understand that, so that they allow you still to be you, to process it, and then go to reach out to someone else?
In the event that happens, I will usually I have my own internal process. I also will consult with other professionals and process that through, which is very helpful. I usually don't take it to my family. Because it is such a sensitive nature.
Yes. It has to be. And so no one wants to take home trouble. No one wants to bring work home, really, at the end of the day. And so you've been doing this for how long now?
I have been in the mental health field since 2000. So the year 2000.
For 25 years,
it's
a quarter of a century.
Yes.
And you reflect on your life for just a moment. For 25 years, you've been in the work at service of other people.
That's right.
And she's been doing it so well. As a matter of fact, if you recall, folks, while watching here Mornin Barbados just recently, the last couple of days, as a matter of fact, we were taking a look at how do we process grief? How do we process when trauma occurs? And some groundbreaking techniques and tools that they've been using in North America, that they've been introducing practitioners here in the medical facilities to be able to help identify what the problem is, and then to be able to resolve some of those problems with our folks. And so your training led you to the one that you were introducing here recently.
That's right.
25 years of practice required how many years of preparation?
For EMDR? Yes, so the research-based therapy is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. I was trained in that in 2014. Throughout the journey, it continued on to become a certified in EMDR, a consultant, and then facilitating groups of therapists wanting to be trained in EMDR therapy.
Right. So you identified what you saw for us here in Barbados, a loophole, a space that needed to be filled, an opportunity that we needed to take hold of as a country to help our people. How easy or difficult was that to get inside? Coming to Barbados with a new technique is not necessarily easy sometimes, because it's altering minds in a little bit.
Yes. I wondered about it. So I kept my Barbadian citizenship.
Yes.
and because I live abroad most of the time, I wondered, how can I contribute to the country in a way that would have some sort of positive impact? So I just got to thinking that, I wonder if there are EMDR therapists on the island. And I would search from time to time, and eventually it came a time through the organization I volunteer through, the Humanitarian Assistance Program. I asked them, I was coming here a couple of years ago for my grandmother's funeral for her services, who died at 104.
Oh, congrats. Well done.
And I thought, this is a perfect opportunity. May I have your blessing to start making connections with the local therapist? Are you interested in bringing EMDR training to the island? And they were. And so that started the journey. I emailed every counseling psychologist on the island and spoke with a few, one in particular, Akila Bishop Blackman, who owns Sure Life Consultancy, was with me there from the beginning.
Yes.
And for the last 2.5 years, we met virtually, we had conversations, and as of last fall, it really took off with where it started to become real. At first, we weren't really sure if where this was going to go, if it was going to take. And then by last October, we really knew that it would. And through Akila, that is how I learned more about this is something that we could really use on the island. There is a lot of trauma that based in, issues that exist everywhere. Domestic violence and all types of abuses. And so she really supported that yes, this is a need. We really need this.
How important is it for you to be able to give back to Barbados?
Thank you for bringing that up again. So, very important. Again, holding citizenship here, I found, I just really feel that I need to do something. And this is my way. This was my way that I could really make some sort of positive impact. And I felt so grateful that it came together, that I was able to do that.
Yes.
So when we brought the training here this fall, we just finished up part 2 of 2 of our intensive. It's surreal. It's like, I can't believe that I'm here.
I'm doing
and this is happening.
Yes.
And that this is happening. And so humbling to be able to, have this passion bring my passions together. So the passion for Barbados and the people of Barbados, as well as psychotherapy, and be able to bring those together and be supported in that is just a beautiful
That's
thing.
a beautiful endeavor indeed.
Yes.
Part of that passion, I want to take you back now to Arizona for just a moment. Are there lots of Barbadians? Is there a Barbadian community in Arizona?
There are.
Really?
There are, yes, which is really surprising. I was at a salsa event and salsa dancing, and I had my I Love Barbados bag with me.
Yes.
And one of the instructors came up. He says, "Oh, you're Barbadian. I was born in Barbados."
Nice.
So there is a Barbadian presence there. It's small, but it's there.
But how important is that to you to hook up, as we say, with other Barbadians?
I would love to be able to do that a little bit more often. So I'm not really connected to the Bajan community there. I would love to.
But you would love to.
Yes.
And so there we are.
Yes.
You mentioned to me while we took the commercial break that there are different areas around your home that remind you of Barbados.
That's right. I try to keep Barbados alive as much as I can, not only through the stories, but I'm playing the music at home and dancing to soca and calypso and reggae and of course, like I said, the food. I have some Barbadian art at the home, and then I have plants that actually thrive in the desert. So around my home, I have these reminders of Barbados. I have a beautiful bougainvillea. I have the pride of Barbados. Hibiscus. I have found a nursery who believes you can grow anything in the desert, and he had a Barbados cherry.
Wow.
So I have a little Barbados cherry tree that's coming along.
Nice, nice. And does that spark conversation with those who come visit?
I spark it up.
Oh, you spark. You start.
Guess what this is?
And
yes,
so,
I do.
I'm curious to hear the kind of responses that you get.
Let's see. I think they take interest. I'm always talking up Barbados, so I feel that the people that we talk it up with, with my family and my friends, and they really take interest. They really do take interest.
Marketing Barbados, because it seems that's what you do so very well indeed. Did you get a lack of knowledge about who we are, where we are to begin with? Or did you find that many people in Arizona did know about Barbados and did know who we are?
That is true. That is some of the reception too. Where is Barbados? They always ask, where is Barbados? Yes. So there is a lack of knowledge about Barbados.
So we can do more.
Yes.
What can you do?
Continue to talk it up.
Would you consider talking to our marketing team here, Barbados Tourism Marketing, to find avenues and ways to be able to heighten the awareness? I know sometimes air travel, it can be a bit difficult for some people from Arizona, but nonetheless, if there's an interest, how do we move that into possible travel? Would you consider doing that?
I would, yes.
BTMI? She will. Lisa will be happy to talk with you indeed about the areas that we can go into target and market ourselves. And so here we are now in 2025. You're in Barbados. You're doing the thing you love to do in the place that you love, that you call home.
Yes.
And so do you feel complete, or is there more for Lisa to do to connect herself to Barbados?
As far as the work goes, as far as the therapy goes, I feel complete there. With exception of continuing my relationships. I have new friends now. And that makes me I have new friends now, and that's a beautiful thing. So continuing those connections, which continues to deepen my experience with Barbados.
But the family grows, and I'm sure as on your return, you're thinking, oh, but hold on, where did this little baby come from? Who's this little one? Introduce me to this person. Did you have those kinds of experience with your family while here?
I don't have much family here. I have a distant bloodline here, so everyone has eventually left the island. So they're scattered all over the globe now.
Yes, but did you get a chance to travel back to St. Andrew?
Yes, yes. So when I was here for my grandmother's services, I was with my Uncle John.
Right.
And, like I mentioned, he is quite the historian, quite the history buff of Barbados. So he actually drove us to where my great-grandmother, where they lived, where they had their chattel home, where she was a nurse. So he told us about her profession in nursing people at the hospital, and also in her home. She raised her children on her own because my great-grandfather died at an early age. She farmed cassava and arrowroot. She raised and slaughtered her own animals. And I mean, this is a hearty, it's like a hearty family.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, she was something.
She was something indeed.
She
and so
was, yes.
You've led by example for a lot of us, because sometimes we don't take the time to retrace our roots sufficiently to appreciate where we've come from and the struggles of our ancestors to develop who we are today.
Right.
But you've been able to do so, and you've been able to thrive in a desert as a Barbadian, and to give back to Barbados. And to give back to Barbados in the ways that you've been able to do so. And so, Lisa, it's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you
wonderful
so
meeting you. I wish you well with all of your future endeavors, and I know you're looking for other partnerships with Barbados. I'm certain of it.
Okay.
And so, as those happen, we'll be happy to help you here on Mornin Barbados as well.
Thank you.
So again, do take the love from Barbados back to Arizona, and encourage more to come visit us.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're very welcome. Lisa Gianetto is her name. She is a counselor. And so we are happy to have met her this morning, to have a chance to sit and talk to her more about who she is, the passions that drive her, and not just the place where she lives, but what it means to be Barbadian in that space and to give back to Barbados as well. And so, wonderful indeed. Mornin Barbados breaks right here. We're back in just a moment.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're at the top of the hour with the news now. Police have arrested 5 males and seized 2 firearms in a raid at Accommodation Road, Bush Hall, St. Michael. Those guns taken are a Glock handgun and an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. As you can see there on your screen, Commissioner of Police Richard Boyce says for the month of June, they've taken 9 firearms and a number of rounds of ammunition off the streets, including the weapons used in the murder of Cameron Elcock of 6 Road, St. Philip. The Commissioner was speaking at a news conference on the weekend as he brought the nation up to date with investigations into a number of crimes.
Our officers conducted an operation at Accommodation Road, Bush Hall, St. Michael, that resulted in the seizure of 2 firearms and 30 rounds of ammunition. 5 males ranging in the ages from 18 to 24 were taken into custody for further questioning as it relates to this matter. Last night's seizure was a sobering moment for us in the law enforcement community, and no doubt the general public concurs with us.
The police commissioner told the media that they're doing everything to bring the criminals to justice and the public should exercise caution in interactions with criminals. He was responding to a call for the public to use pepper spray in defending themselves.
When it comes to persons like criminals interacting with members of the public, because when persons of the public set about to defend their property, what they do, they put their lives in danger. So we like to advise persons to cooperate with those persons who come to attack them. And if it is an item which is not that valuable, it is better sometimes to let the item go and keep your life safe. And that is my advice to you.
With regard to cameras across the island, the commissioner says it's a work in progress.
We have identified with our suppliers the need to have additional cameras brought in for us. Even today, we are out in the field in certain locations installing cameras. So cameras, for us, that is an ongoing exercise that is going to take a couple of months. We are very secure and good in some areas, but there's other areas which now we are branching out, having those cameras installed for the safety and benefit of every member of the public.
The Labour Department is on a thrust to sensitize the public about issues relating to health and safety in the workplace. On Saturday, members of the department were in their numbers out and about inviting the public to several upcoming activities as part of Labour Week. Labour Week, also known as Occupational Safety and Health Week, will be observed from the 29th of June until the 3rd of July under the theme Legacy of Labour, 85 Years of Progress. Assistant Chief Labour Officer Kama Salanki-Burke gave this update during that exercise.
We start off on the 30th of June 2025. We are going to Henry Fraser Lecture Theatre. That is at the University West Indies Capefield campus from 9 a.m. We have an opening ceremony. At the end of the opening ceremony, we have presentations. Those presentations, you're going to hear lots about managing workplace safety, managing stress, and other information that would be pertinent to occupational safety and health.
The Labour Department will be hosting a job fair on July the 3rd, along with a number of other activities, including free health checks and entertainment. A major spectacle in St. George took place at the weekend. Thousands turned out for the go-kart races. It was indeed a throwback to the 60s and 70s when there were not many vehicles on our roads and boys made carts to race each other downhill for bragging rights. Member of Parliament for St. George North, Tony Moore, was ecstatic with the turnout.
This is the largest turnout that we have had for the regathering time in St. George. The gully roast, everything there was good participation, but this evening, not only the crowd, but the vibe and the energy is here happening in the center where the action is.
Ms. Moore also spoke about how the gathering went for St. George.
But the regathering for St. George went reasonably well. I think if there was one disruption that we can speak about, it was a disruption by nature of the rain. Up to yesterday, our marquee event at Brighton was impacted by the weather, but nonetheless, people came out and supported to enjoy themselves.
The National Insurance and Social Security Service is embarking on a program to sensitize self-employed people of the benefits that can be derived from being part of the service. That's according to Insurance Officer Aletha Thomas, who was with her team at the Bridgetown Fisheries Complex for their Customer Appreciation Day. She says this forms part of their strategic focus at the NISSS.
The NISSS, we have partnered with Barnufo, the Barbados Fisherfolk Association, to sensitize the fisherfolk about self-employed, what the benefits that they're entitled to, the NIS flexible arrangement, and we are here with a small team set up to check persons' earnings, their contributions, check benefits, and have a one-on-one with them about national insurance, any queries or anything of the sort.
Ms. Thomas says they have noticed that more self-employed people are coming forward to access their services, and she says they are stationed at their Frank Walcott building or that they can be reached at 431-7100.
We have a mandate to target the self-employed persons and engage them. We have a number of plans and initiatives, not just Barnufo, but to engage our other stakeholders. We would have done some additional community drives before today, and self-employed persons are coming forward. They have questions, and we want them to know that we care. And there's a slogan that we go that says, we are meeting you where you are, and that's why we are here. So if we have to go to a farm to meet with the farmers, wherever you are, we are sending a team. You can also come to our office, but for the most part, we are meeting you where you are to explain everything, because a lot of self-employed persons have misconceptions about the NISSS. Some think that we don't offer benefits, but we do.
And that's a look at news at this moment. We'll have more news coming up at 12 noon on CBC TV8. Morning Barbados is back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the result.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 11 minutes after 7 o'clock now as we turn our attention to a scourge on this island that is affecting everyone of all ages and gender. And so this morning we wanted to take a look at the response from the National Organization of Women. They too are equally concerned about the level of crime and abuse of women, families and our seniors in particular. And so joining me this morning next to me is Morgan Ford, who finds herself also hosting the Respect the Vibes show. Along with her is Melissa Savory Gittins, who is the president of the National Organization of Women. And across from me, all the way over there, is Patrice Allen, who is the vice president, who is also the president of Disruptimus International. Ladies, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Madam President, I'll start with you.
That's fine.
Because the reality is women, and when a woman is impacted, the family is impacted. But we're seeing so many episodes now where families are being affected by crime.
Right.
Women in particular feel it more than anyone else. Talk to me about what you know or what you're hearing happening and how it's been impacting women.
Well, as we know, more than 41% of our households are female-headed. And therefore, like you said, if the women are affected, the family is affected, the community is affected, the entire Barbados, and we mash it. Basically, we gone through the editors, right? And you know, women out there know they're afraid to go out at night. They're afraid to, you know, one woman said when she heard a knock on her door, although she may know the voice, she still peeps through the window first to see who the person is, because people are scared. People are afraid to traverse. They don't want to go walking anymore. So people have stopped exercising. They've stopped attending activities, which is going to overall impact the economy, because if people aren't spending money, then again, we have problems. So we are trying to bring back that sense of safety, or that feeling, because it's a feeling, right, to our ladies and then into the community.
Women are talking it up. They're talking, they're saying they're uncomfortable, Right, Patrice?
Yes, correct. As you mentioned, well, just a slight correction, I'm the secretary of the National Organization of Women.
Okay.
And rightly said, I'm the president of Robotics International of Barbados. And I recently had a conversation with one of our sisters, and our general meetings are normally held virtually or in person. And she told me that she's not comfortable with coming to the in-person meetings because by a certain time she likes to be at home, with the recent rise in crime, especially targeting women. And so we do have in our membership that sense of not feeling safe, so it will impact how we carry on our meetings. We want to meet in person. We want to build and foster that sisterhood. It's what we're about, part of what we're about. So we have to, I guess, lean more on the virtual side to make persons comfortable to attend. So things like that we are seeing within our membership.
The violence is sometimes perpetrated against women by people they know in their homes as well. And so I know the Surreptitious, you do have a shelter, I'll use that word broadly, for women who find themselves in abusive situations as well. This violence that's been turned on them by partners or children and the like.
Well, that is not Surreptitious. I can't remember which organization.
That's not you?
That's a Business Professionals Women's Club.
Oh, that ain't you.
But the
No, but we have a village. We have a village where we house, well, not house, we have about 24 units where the elderly live. About 22 of those units are occupied right now. And it's a mix of women and men, not just for women. So we do care for the elderly on that level. We do look out for them on that level. So that too we have to take into consideration, making sure that they're feeling safe, that they're secure, that we have the measures in place to make them feel safe and secure, because it's a village with the elderly. And we have an activity center where we have other elderly people come in and they take part in different activities. So one time you probably would think, all right, these things happen at a certain time at night, but things are just happening anytime,
Any time of day.
anywhere. So we really have to be cognizant of what measures we put in place, what we maintain, what we need to do in order to make sure that there's a sense of security at our village.
Morgan, what are you hearing in what you do as host of Respect the Vibes?
A lot of women my age group, I mean, especially now it's summer, it's crop over. This is when we're most outside, we're enjoying ourselves. We're scared. Women are scared. They're scared to go to the gym, scared to go to events, making plans like, okay, if we go to this event, we'll take one car, we'll all sleep in one place so we're not separating after. If we go to the gym, it's coordinating with our friends to see, okay, we can go as a group so it's safe. Just going to and from, even walking around, shopping, not doing anything alone now. So everyone has a little bit of fear. The situation has obviously gotten worse. Yeah.
What's driving all of this, Melissa, from your point of view?
Driving the fear? Or
Not just the fear, but the fear is one factor, yes. But for people feeling that they need to abuse women and abuse and be violent towards other people.
Women are the weaker sex by nature. So you expect that in terms of bodily, okay? Because that we go there, right? But so it's easier to attack a woman because it might be hard for her to fend off an attacker, as opposed to a man. A man might put a fight gear to kind of beige and saying two big cuffs and they get down or something, right? But again, even men are scared because it's not a fist fight. You can't, you bring rocks to a gunfight, right? So everybody is an overall fear that people are having, because I'm not sure if you have a weapon, what that weapon is. Maybe before I could think about fighting for my life, but now take whatever you need and go, right? But I think it also stems from people not wanting to work or the lack of employment, because I don't think that sometimes employers give people a chance. So you may not have the education, you may not, but you might be willing to learn. So I am calling on employers to even try giving more jobs to young men out there who might not be the best characters, but those that you may see physically or in front of you, but they may be willing to learn, and once they have good mentorship, they can change and become who they need to be. We weren't always how we were, right? It took somebody to hold our hand, to give us guidance, to mentor us, to bring us into the space that we are in today.
So it's a combination of things, societal issues and something, family values as well. I'm sure when you talked about how people go to Kadooment Day, for instance, and people want to prey on women simply for the fact that they are dressed the way they're dressed and want to have a good time as an individual. So talk to me what you think our young men, because it generally is young men preying on these quote-unquote vulnerable women.
Yes.
What is it that they're lacking that you wish that they should, or the family should address?
Respect in general. I think no matter what a woman is wearing during Kadooment, whether she's at work, it really doesn't make a difference. You need to respect women and others around you as individuals, as people, so that you do not see them, whether they be in some feathers and some glitter down the road, Kadooment Day, and think, okay, she's wearing a little less, I can pull at her, I can make, passes at her, etc. I think respect is the main thing that is missing. I'm not sure what it is, but it's not being ingrained into our young people anymore. Even with the crimes we're seeing against the elderly as well.
Yeah, I'm coming to that
I
too.
think respect is a major thing with that. When it comes to the elders in our society, there's no way that you should ever look at one of the elders of our society and think, yes, I'm going to target this person, when they have, you know, kind of built Barbados on their back. I think what's lacking really is respect.
I think a lot of times the disrespect displayed is often a way of saying, look at me, I'm having a challenge with myself in terms of respect, and not the fact that I want to simply disrespect the female. And so, Melissa, talk to me a little bit about it, because boys are struggling.
Yes.
Boys are struggling with understanding who they are. And as a consequence, they lash out, I think, in the way. I'm not excusing them. I'm not excusing them at all. But they tend to lash out at the weaker vessel, as you term it. And so, what can parents, what can households do to help boys see themselves, or what is the role of the man, the father figure in this instance, to help those boys understand their responsibility for respect, their responsibility for caring for the woman who's the weaker vessel?
You know, I heard a man say, I didn't have a father, so if my son don't have a father, look at me, I'm okay, right? So we're asking the men to play that fatherly role for your children, because boys do need their fathers, right? Girls too, but I mean, like, really, boys do need their fathers. And as a community though, if we see a problem, for instance, you know, I interact with people on a day-to-day basis, and if I see somebody that I think needs help, I talk to that mother and I said, hey, you know, would you put your son in the mentorship program? I reach out to men and say, hey, I have a boy that I think you guys need to help. Get him now, right? And I'm thinking that if a community, if everybody can do that, and they see and say, look at so-and-so child, like, he going, no, what are you doing? It's like talking about him. Don't just talk about the situation, but see how you can help. The mother might be, you know, taking the advice. Some of them don't. I'm not going to say they're all going to do that, but if you can, you know, maybe reach out to another family member and say, they can get some help for John, they can get some help for Luke, you know, along those paths. I think that can help put those boys back on the right path that they need to be on.
We really need to stop turning the blind eye. We'll look at the elderly when we come right back after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
22 and a half after the hour now, and yeah, even I get scared at times at all sorts of hours as well. Us men as well have fear of what's happening in our community. Can you imagine how it must feel for our elderly? And sometimes they're at home and people visit their homes, and as we've seen in the news recently, ransack it, as I would say. And so Patrice, let's talk a little bit about that, you know, the fear that the elderly have and the concerns they have for their own safety and security.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, we do have the village where we house the elderly. At the moment, there's no sense of fear there, but as Melissa mentioned, there has to be the sense of community. And where the village is located in Eda Lodge, it's right in the middle of a neighborhood. We have people in the neighborhood who will come over and visit and what's not. So once we have that sense of community, and even outside putting the village aside. We have aging parents, we have grandparents, we have elderly neighbors. My neighbor, he is in his 80s. So once we have that sense of community, check in on the elderly, just make them aware of the things that are happening. Recently, I saw something going around with people impersonating the Barbados Light and Power personnel. We see that on our IG, social media and what's not. Let's make sure that the elderly, that they're aware of these things. They might not have social media, they might miss the news at night or something. But let's just make sure that they are aware of the things that are happening. Let us make sure that they know how to protect themselves, what to look out for. And just as a community, really just look out for them. We do have a lot.
I see it in your spirit. You're saying, gosh, I wish we would just get back to those values.
Yes, because
as a community.
Yeah, I grew up taking care of my grandmother. But you know, you got to a certain age and you just don't know when the switch around happens, when you become the caretaker. So it is very close to my heart, making sure that the elderly are taken care of. They are the vulnerable segment in our society. We need to, and as one of the ladies mentioned, it is all about respect. We have to be able to build that back into our young people, make them understand that they need to respect the elderly. And with that, and just building community, then we will be able to, you know, take care of them the way that they are supposed to be taken care of.
We used to think that if it happens to me, I learned the lesson, so therefore I will not repeat the mistake. But that doesn't seem to be happening anymore. It seems as if, oh, that happened to me, I get it back at this, I get it back at you. Which is unfortunate, and as a consequence, our society is crumbling at the edges. And we don't want it to fall apart. Crop over is coming up though, Morgan. And if we look at you, your favorite season, we look at you and we know what the boys will see when they see you out and about. And so oftentimes they misunderstand what is consent.
Yes.
They see you having a grand old Duke of York time and they figure, she's waiting for me to have a good time with her.
Yeah.
And that is not necessarily
That is not the case, no.
So talk to me a little bit about your concern where that is concerned.
So yes, this is my favorite season. And you know, with the panel we're doing tomorrow, the topic is perfect for now. Respect the vibes. You see me and my girlfriends or whoever at an event, on the road, at Juve, daytime or nighttime, having a grand old time. And you come upon yourself as a guy, you want to join the vibe, fair. But I think what's important is that you know, kind of ask permission to join the vibe. Don't just force yourself onto anybody. Don't drag anybody to you. I have encountered that quite a few times, more times than that I'm comfortable with, where I have had to be like, hey, sorry, I'm just having fun with my friends. And if you ask respectfully, if you come, hey, can I dance with you? Can I dance with you guys? Likely it'll be fine. We'll give you a dance. You know, everybody's here to have a good time. We're not trying to be difficult or stush, as everybody likes to call it. But I think it's just so necessary to, you know, get consent first before you're like jamming down somebody. It's so important to just make sure that the other person is comfortable with what you are doing. And then also we have to understand that consent can run out. So at any point in time during the dance, and I'm like, okay, I've had enough, you have to respect that. And a lot of people struggle with wrapping their minds around that concept. Like, I want to dance for 2 seconds, I've had enough, that's it. It's not an issue, but you know, I think we really need to get the idea of consent, when it runs out, how you ask consent. You know, a little look back is not always consent. You have to, you know, be a bit more bold. And I think if we get that, the vibes will be great for Crop Over. The vibes will be great.
So the advice to the women now, you just advised the perpetrator.
Yes.
Advise the women.
I would say stand on business. You know, it can be a little daunting. Again, we are the fairer sex, especially on Kadooment Day. We are wearing, me at least, big feathers and a lot of glitter and beads. Yes, but you can also turn and be like, so sorry. It doesn't have to be an altercation. It can be very gentle. So sorry, I'm just dancing with my friends right now. Or hey, not really in the mood for that kind of a dance. And it should be fine. If there is then a negative response, you know, I move in a group. So there's always people around that I could be like, okay, I'm gonna go away. But then, you know, to the perpetrator, I don't want to say perpetrator, but to the other party, don't take it as a negative. It could just be that, you know, she doesn't want to dance at the moment. It could be that, you know, her boyfriend gave her strict instructions, no dancing up Man crop over day. So, you know, just respect. And I think a conversation, it's brief. We're in the party, we're having a good time, we're there for hours. It's a 2-second exchange. It's worth it to have that exchange than to end up on the wrong side of the situation.
Moving herds, ladies. Moving groups, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, Melissa, as much as we talk, I don't know, are you confident that we can see the change in as quick a time as you would want?
In terms of the quickness of the time, to me that doesn't really matter. I think once we can see slow progress, you know, everything doesn't have to be fast. Just the progress, that's important because we know we can get there, right? Everything doesn't have to be fast. So just to have the conversations, let people know what is expected, what's not expected. You know, one conversation is that one woman told me, you know, a guy slapped her butt during crop over. And he was like, but you at crop over, right? So we just want people to know, no, that's not okay, right? And women likewise, we don't expect you to do it to men. The same way we don't expect men to do it to you. That's
right. 100%.
So don't worry, we're not being one-sided here.
No.
That's right. I stood at the car wash on the weekend and the boys were talking about that. How there are some very aggressive women who've preyed on them, made them angry for life. Wow. So that happens as well. So it's vice versa.
Yes.
And we just want people to respect the other person.
Yes.
And respect each other, you're right.
Yeah.
And not take it for granted that you have the authority to do as you please or at your will. But when you see our seniors, I think that's the one that hits home most of a lot of us, to see our seniors being preyed on by these people who are hard back, as they tend to call them, who are just taking full abuse. It's horrible and it needs to stop. So from where you sit, Patrice, now your advice, not just to the seniors alone in terms of, you know, open the window but don't open the door, peep out through the window but don't open the door. What do you say in terms of advice for the men and for the women? The senior.
Okay, my advice to those, just we understand that things might be a bit difficult in life and there are reasons why we do the things that we do. Just take a moment and think about the consequences of your actions. The consequences of your actions will affect you. It will affect the person that you will harm. It will affect their families. So just take a moment, step back, and just consider everything before moving forward, because we don't decide, oh, I'm going to do this. Things are thought about, they're processed, they're planned. So for those who would be looking to prey on the elderly, just remember that the elderly, they have built Barbados on their backs, as one of the ladies just mentioned. We need to have a certain level of respect and consideration for them. They take care of us. It is now our turn to take care of them. And that is what we should be doing as a society. We should not be harming them. We should not be doing things for them to live in fear. We cannot do that to them. We need to respect and we need to be considerate of them in their latter years.
And you're going to grow older too. So don't think that you stay young forevermore. You too shall grow old, and there will come the time when you would want for others to respect your age and your frailty in your old age as well. So to just remember that what you would want for yourself in a positive way, want it for someone else as well. But most of all, we really as a society need to look at our character.
Yes.
We need to look at our values. We need to look at the things upon which we stand and get back to it. I know for a lot of people sometimes it's difficult to turn that corner to get back, but we have to start bit by bit by bit, moment by moment, and we eventually would see the change that we're looking for. What would you see, Morgan, as a decent society?
A decent society, I think, is simpler than we realize. So similarly to the conversation we were having earlier, where, you know, vice versa, don't do this to someone, don't do it. It's very simple. Do unto others. Very simple law. Respect for others, you know, and take time to listen and care about everybody's feelings. You don't know what somebody else is going through. And just because you are hurt does not mean that you need to lash out. Seek help, seek comfort, seek friendship, seek therapy, anything. There's so many avenues. You could be creative, you could take, you know, your frustrations out in many ways, but try not to take them out in a way that harms other people.
Melissa, what would you see as a decent society?
Well, I agree with everything that Morgan had to say in terms of what is decent, but a society that continues to respect God, You know, I find that we've taken God now out of the equation, and I think a lot of what's happening is because we don't have that respect for God. Before, people would be real frightened to do a lot of things because it's all God. You know, I pray for God.
Yes.
Right? But I think if we, and whoever your God may be, you know, but if you have respect for that supreme being that you know, can take us forward or destroy us if we don't do what we're supposed to do, I think we'd be better.
And Patrice, your definition of a decent society today?
A decent society today is where we all live in harmony together, and respect just keeps coming up. That word just keeps coming up. An environment where we respect each other, where we love each other, live in harmony, and as Melissa mentioned rightly, just turn to God, whoever your God might be, because that is, you need a faith, you need a base, which would then cause you to have certain core values. So a good harmonious.
The Bible says, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. That's from the Bible. That's from the lips of God, so to speak. And so, yes, at the center of who we are and the way that we should live is already mapped out for us in the Bible. We run away from it, and I'm not preaching, but I am preaching for just a moment. It's already mapped out in your Bible. But we've turned away from that because we think it's a fairy tale. It is not a fairy tale. It is a map for living. And if you follow that map for living, the things that we see happening in our society today, we would not see, because we'd have a greater understanding of action and consequences. We would understand when Jesus came to earth what it was meant to be. And so all of those things we can find if we just find ourselves back into God, back into church, back into reading and understanding more about our reason or purpose for living. The National Organization of Women, the Seroptimus International, the Respect the Vibes organization, they're just part of this process. And so your role is to be engaged and not separated from the change that we all want to see. Don't place it on someone else to do. It is also for you, each of us, to do. So I hope that today we dwelt for just a moment on what we've shared with you, and that in dwelling you think of how you can be a part of the change, how you can be a part of the solution, because we all want to see a better society where we're all safe, respectful, decent people. Thank you so much, Morgan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. And thank you, Patrice, as well. And good luck to all. You said there's something coming up?
Yes, the panel discussion on July 1st.
On tomorrow. What, July 1st? What? Tomorrow.
I have to give a date.
We're also asking people, we have an initiative called 5, the Power of 5, funding initiative valuing everyone, and we're asking people to donate to the National Organization of Women, just $5.
$5.
To help. Through our bank account. I can give you the bank details. I have it right here. It's also at our Scotia bank account and our account number. If I can only find the page.
That's right. But once we go to Scotiabank, we said we want to deposit it now.
To the now. It doesn't matter to the national. Our account number is 49788 at the Bank of Nova Scotia. 49788, the Power of 5. Just remember, $5, and it can help do so many things, especially our safe. We have a program as well coming up, so that can help with all of these things.
Don't look in here. Don't look in here.
Don't look in here.
But here is my power of not giving
you.
my
And this will help with our self-defense class as well, because we are also trying to empower women how to defend themselves.
I think it's important.
These cases.
It's very important.
So,
and yours is online?
Yes, it will be online. So just watch out, and we will have the link available
on our
for
Instagram and Facebook
Yes.
pages.
Okay, good. Patrice, anything from you?
Nothing from me.
Okay, good. No problem. No problem. So, folks, we encourage your participation. I just made my contribution. We'd like you today to make your contribution as well, because every cent literally goes a long way in towards making the change we're looking for. We're building a society together. Thank you, ladies, as well.
Thank you so much.
We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories. and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
19 now to 8 o'clock, and in getting ready for this moment in time, I saw something that says, Philippines won already. I just loved it. I loved it indeed. So gathering from tomorrow in St. Philip. And so joining us this morning from the parish organizing committee is our good friend, Dr. Denise Charles. Good morning to you, Dr. Denise.
How are you, Pearson?
I'm well.
You're piggybacking though. You're wearing colors of purple.
As it happened, and I didn't prepare for this, mind you, it just so happened. But Providence, that's what happened, right?
Okay.
Indeed.
You want to be one of us, it's fine.
Father, forgive her. But that's all right. And across from her is Mr. Michael Mason. Of course, if you say St. Philip, you can't say Mason. Indeed.
Course.
One of the Masons of St. Philip.
Of course.
That must mean so much to you, though, Michael.
But of course, this is the Mason tongue.
All right.
That's
Andrew
right.
and all of y'all.
That is correct.
Yes,
correct.
indeed.
Proud Masons.
And so here we are now in the month of July, literally on the doorstep of July.
Yes.
We're looking at sugar. That's the theme for
Yes.
the month. What does it mean for you guys? Are you ready to host the world?
We are definitely ready. We are ready and raring to go. We found the theme sugar extremely interesting. When we think of sugar and we think of where we have come from as a people and our history, and the fact that we know that we've had kind of an acrimonious relationship with sugar. The enslaved Africans were brought here to work the sugar plantations, and it was not obviously something that was positive. So when we think of sugar, there's a lot of negativity attached to it. We hear today about the dangers of too much sugar. And even though many of us still have sweet tooth, we love the sweet things, and we grew up eating the sugar cakes and so on, the nut cakes and all the sweet treats. We know that too much sugar isn't good. So how do we harness something positive from a theme like sugar? And as a committee, we thought about it, and we thought about all the positives that have come out of this negative experience of slavery and colonialism and post-colonialism. And we think of values like strength, resilience, honesty, hard work, community, faith, family. And these are some of the qualities that define us as Bajans. So when we think of this theme, sugar, for St. Philip, and St. Philip is such a community-oriented space.
Of course.
Now, I was not born in St. Philip, but I have always loved St. Philip. As a child, I loved to visit St. Philip. I was privileged because I had an aunt in St. Philip, and sometimes I would spend summer there once or twice in the Crane. And I always loved the parish. And my husband and I, you know, we built our home there. We moved there in 1997. So I've been there for quite a long time.
Got that right.
She got a green card.
I've been there, and the love relationship is still very strong. And I found St. Philip to be a very friendly space.
Yes, it is.
People look out for each other. And I love that about the parish. I love that about, apart from loving its physical qualities, because I love the dry, rugged area. That's what I like about it. You know, so you know, in unpacking the theme, we're thinking about all of those positive values that have come out of that time of, yes, enslavement, moving into the sugar industry and all it has done to develop Barbados. And we can certainly emphasize those values.
And you're right, Red Plastic Bag himself has a song, Sugar Made Us Free.
Yes.
And in that song, he's able to define all of those things of which you just spoke, the values that were derived from sugar, not just the diabetes, all the rest of it that flowed there from later on, as defined by some medical practitioners. But nonetheless, you know, and so you have a whole month focusing on all that's great about St. Philip. We now see it as a burgeoning community, particularly in Six Roads. We see all the businesses moving in, and that in itself is another reason why, if you haven't been to St. Philip in a while, you need to come to St. Philip for the month of July and discover. You'll see, wow. In A, for instance, I'll just use as an example, I saw the building going up, and I kept wondering, what is going up there? And suddenly you have all this auto parts, huge auto parts building now available. We see construction happening in different parts of the area as well. And so things are happening in St. Philip, and those things are what we're celebrating this month in July.
That's right.
And so purple is the color. When do you kick off? Tomorrow?
We kick off tomorrow with the school tour, the greening tour. That's an initiative that I think has been across all the regathering parishes so far, where we're focusing on greening the environment. So we have 7 primary schools in St. Philip, 1 secondary school. So this tour really will be, the focus will be in helping our students to understand the need to take care of our environment. We're hearing so much about the environment and changes, climate change, etc. But we all have a role to play in how we take care of the spaces that we inhabit. So greening the environment, this will kick off tomorrow at all the schools in St. Philip, both primary and the 1 secondary school. And then we move off on the 5th with our motorcade. So there's going to be a motorcade, which is going to be, it's all about community engagement, getting the people of St. Philip to be excited about what is about to happen. So we're going to be starting off from 6 Roads and touching a number of communities. We'll be moving through places like Gemswick and Harlington, moving into Foul Bay, Brereton, Curtins, right? Brereton, Woodbourne, other places.
I see the route, yes.
Yeah, ending back at 6 Roads again.
This is on Saturday.
This is on Saturday. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be lots of music. There are going to be giveaways, stops, you know, in communities and so on to let people know what is happening during the month. And we obviously want to see people out in their purple, because purple is our color.
Yes.
You know, we want to see people out in their purple and just celebrating the spirit of St. Philip. And as I said, celebrating all the values that we really want to emphasize as we seek as a nation to really dial it back and get back to that time when we really as a community look out for each other. You know, so that is the big thing that is happening on Saturday. And following that, we have our church service.
On Saturday?
On Sunday.
Hold on. Saturday this month, because his big
so
event.
we're going to go to him and come back.
Michael, talk to me what's happening on Saturday where you're concerned.
Right, Saturday, coming the 5th, we're having a Telston Payne, Ken Roy Williams Memorial T20 tape ball knockout.
2 West Indies players.
Yes, Telston Payne, he played for Princess Margaret Secondary School, went on to St. Catherine's, never left St. Catherine's. He played for Barbados, and also he represented the West Indies.
And Ken Roy as well.
And Ken Roy played for Barbados, of course. Yeah, and they're both passed on. So we have a memorial at T20 tape ball cricket for them on Saturday.
Where?
At St. Catherine's Sports Club, starting around 6:30 in the evening.
Under the lights.
Correct, of course.
So we're crowding out that St. Catherine's ground.
Of course.
Okay.
Purple.
So who's competing?
It will be then Ulrich Batson. He'll be captaining which one is the Williams one.
Right.
And
Payne
will be captained by Bishop.
Okay. So two teams.
Yes.
Two teams.
Yes.
One that represents Stelson Payne, one that represents Ken Roy Williams.
That is correct.
And so they're going head to head in the T20.
That is correct.
So that means enough sixes, enough fours, enough wickets.
Real
lots
runs.
of laughter.
Real runs.
Runs galore.
Real runs.
And that's at 6:30
because
on Saturday.
Both of those persons who were captaining these teams played for Barbados, and Batson, he also played for the West Indies 18.
Yeah, I recognize the names. I recognize the names.
We got good players. So we are inviting the whole of St. Philip to come out and join us on Saturday in their purple.
At St. Catherine's.
Correct.
St. Catherine's.
Correct.
All right, got you covered. And it's free.
Free of
food
course.
and drinks on sale.
Free of course. Right. Drinks on sale, food on sale. There can be popcorn. But any other vendors who want to come to apply their trade, they can get hold of myself or Tony Wilcher.
Right.
And Tony, and my number is 837-560.
Slow down, 836
5608.
5608. Got you.
And Tony Wilcher at 826-6403.
All right. Folks, you got those numbers? Good. We have more to talk about. Denise has more to talk about as well, but we'll take a break here. We're coming back to share with you the exciting calendar of events coming up in July in St. Philip for Regathering.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you...
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
As we say, Major, that's what we're talking about. You see, one already for St. Philip, I guess, but you got to be ready indeed. It starts tomorrow. Remember, it starts tomorrow. St. Philip is in focus. The color is purple. The theme is sugar. And so we're celebrating all things wonderful and delicious that flow there from sugar, the sugar industry. And so on this, we have the 5th. We know what's happening to T20 cricket at St. Catherine's beginning at 6:30 Saturday. Sunday, Denise.
We're having a fantastic interdenominational service at the Oldbury Seventh-day Adventist facility.
Yes.
You know, there's a large center belonging to the
Yes.
Seventh-day Adventist Church, and they have agreed to allow us to use it. We're having an interdenominational service where we have invited many of the churches, if not all of the churches, most of the churches that we've been able to reach, we've invited to be a part of the service, and we're inviting all Philippines. Even if you do not go to church, you don't have to be a member of a church or somebody who goes to church to come to this service. We're inviting all of you. That space is huge.
It is huge.
And we would want to see it packed out with people just there to praise the Lord, who is very sweet. You know that song, My Lord is Sweet?
Sweet, sweet,
We're
sweet.
going to be singing that song on Sunday, you know. We have been able to put together a St. Philip community choir, which is made up of people of different churches and of the community. So we have a fairly large choir. under the direction of Alex Blackman, originally from St. Philip as well.
Nice.
Very good songster, you know, musician. So we are having this choir. This choir will be singing a very interesting medley, and that song is going to be in there, My Lord is Sweet, because he is, you know, and we're having music by Kelly Cadogan as well. She will be performing. And we also have a dance group from the Calvary Community Church. They're in Six Roads.
Which is around the corner from there.
They're in Six Roads. They'll be performing as well. And it's going to be a wonderful service. We have participation from the Anglican Church. We have participation from the Wesleyan Holiness Church. The district superintendent of the Wesleyan Holiness Church, Reverend Virgil Paris, he will be delivering the sermon. And we have participants from the New Testament Church of God, Pastor Connolly. So we have a number of churches who have pledged their commitment to be there. New Testament Church of God, the
Methodist.
Church.
You have 3 Methodist churches.
Yes, we've invited them all. We've invited all the Anglican churches.
Everyone.
You know, independent churches. There are so many churches.
Yes, there are. You know.
Actually, when we started doing the invitations, we didn't realize there were so many churches, as well as independent churches.
Yes.
And we want all of you, even if you have not received an official invitation because we have somehow overlooked you, we apologize.
Yes.
We still invite you to be a part of our service.
And that starts at what time?
It starts at 9 in the morning.
Early, good.
And it's not going to be long and dragged out. So we promise to have you at least by 11:15. You know, so it's going to be a tightly packed, wonderful, uplifting service where we are focusing on those same values that we spoke about just
That I like to hear, and I'm really excited about that for you as well. Who's this here? Who's this on? I can see Beardy. Holgate Maureen says, good morning, St. Philip. All the purple hearts are flowing.
Yes.
Show off.
Yeah.
And Marcy Rock said the same thing. St. Philip, we gather purple hearts as well.
That's right.
The folks are listening. And so Patricia Ben, who's watching from in the States as well, she's looking forward to the events in the Philippines, that what you have to offer, Purple Hearts as well. So we're happy that people are getting turned on.
That's right.
And excited about this. Remember,
About
it starts
the purple.
tomorrow here. It starts tomorrow, Greenie in schools.
And there's something very important because it starts tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and this is our first week. We have the kickoff motorcade on Saturday, the cricket match, and we have the service on Sunday. But Friday, we want to let you know that we are blazing purple every Friday in the month. So there's a purple initiative going for St. Philip Regathering. We're inviting all business places in St. Philip, schools. We know the schools are out next week. You have at least one Friday. The schools, the medical facilities. It doesn't matter what you do in St. Philip. Once you are in St. Philip, we're inviting you to wear your purple every single Friday of the month. Not just this Friday, starting this Friday. And every single Friday, we want to see you in purple. We're inviting people to put purple flags outside their home. You know, just wear something purple at different points in time. But Friday is that day where we want to see everybody representing in purple. But if you can decorate your house with purple lights,
paint your house with purple.
We just going all out. We're just going all out. You know, purple is royalty.
Of
You're
course
royal
it is.
in St.
Of
Philip,
course,
you
of
know?
course. And so Friday, every Friday, purple is the color. Purple is the color, and purple is the color in St. Philip in particular. So if you're going to be, my boy Michael brought his bandana as well. Look at that. Look.
That's right.
He's taking this to the serious, and that's the thing about Philippines, you know. You guys take this thing so seriously. You're passionate about your parish. Turn it upside down. No, it's the same thing. It's fine. It's fine. The words at the top are just turned the other way around if you're looking at it the other way around. St. Philip, the parish where one family lives.
That's correct.
And so that's what it's about.
Correct. Be gathering.
Be gathering in St. Philip. All right, so let's walk this through again because I want people to get the first week right. Tomorrow, we're doing the greening in all schools, secondary and primary schools. All of them doing a greening campaign tomorrow. And we want you to respect the greening spaces and respect the greening efforts as well. And so anyone who has plants and stuff, can they make donations?
Of course. Of
How?
course these things would be
Go to the schools and make the donation?
Yes, they can do that.
Okay, great. Then on Saturday, there's a motorcade. The motorcade starts at 6 Roads. From what time in the morning?
The motorcade starts at 9.
9 in the morning. They're
9 in the
moving
morning.
all over the
All
parish.
throughout the
Indeed.
parish.
Music, giveaways, entertainment, people. And this is a motorcade with cars following. So this is going to be huge. Sneaking its way all over the parish. It's a big, 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 big parish indeed. That's on Saturday morning from 9. Look out for them. You'll hear the noise. You'll see the people. You'll see the festivity. You are encouraged to be there. Have your purple flag to fly.
That
indeed.
is correct.
Friday, however, I forgot the Friday. Skip too fast. Friday is all purple in St. Philip. Indeed, at the supermarket, at the gas stations, at the schools, in your homes, everywhere in the community. Purple, people dress in purple as well. Remember, on Saturday evening, we're heading to St. Catherine's at 6:30 for that T20 match. Thelston Payne 11 versus the Kenroy Williams 11, and they are battling it out. We're going to have a huge T20 game, and it's food and drinks on sales at St. Catherine's Sports Club. That's where it's going to be. It's a huge cricket ground.
Correct.
It can accommodate many of you. Park at your leisure. Come and really enjoy great cricket indeed and support them. Also then on Sunday, we're going to church from 9 in the morning at the big facility there at Oldbury, the Seventh-day Adventist facility. All denominations are encouraged to assemble there. Everyone, fantastic singing and a whole lot more. Wear your purple there as well. That's indeed. And that's only the start. That's only the start. That's only down to Sunday here.
A little taste.
Imagine that.
Just
a little taste. Yes. Sugar is the theme. And so that's what we're celebrating. We will invite you back for more of the taste of sugar.
Of course.
Is it, Philip? And
don't forget that Red Plastic Bag in 1983 went down to the stadium. Sugar made us free.
That's right.
Mash it up.
Mash it up.
Of course.
One time.
Of course.
And it was never the same again.
It was never the same again. That is correct.
So we're sort of going to build a new one.
We want you to know, to Pearson, that apart from this first service, we are also visiting churches other Sundays in the month. So you'll see us at Calvary Community Church. You'll see us at St. Martin's first, St. Martin's, then Calvary, and then the last Sunday at Holy Trinity.
All right. Yeah. So all
spreading the love.
I like that. Spreading the love in a sweet way. Thank you, Dr. Denise, and thank you so much, Michael, indeed, both of you. Welcome. I want to encourage all of you, as you've seen on our commenters on screen, don't just comment, come out and enjoy. Come and be a part, gather in Philip for the month of July, indeed. Folks, that's it for today. Time has flown so quickly, I couldn't believe it. My little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a lovely today. Be it the will of the Lord, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Barbados, get up. Good morning.